With about 36.9 million hectares of arable land, representing about 40.48% of the country's total land area of 2023, and 70% of the youth population, which is about 151 million youths, Nigerians should have no reason being hungry. But unfortunately, there is serious hunger in the land. In the just released 2023 Global Hunger Index, GHI, Nigeria was ranked 109 out of 125 countries with a score of just 28.3%, where countries that scored 20 to 34.8% have serious hunger issues. It means that Nigeria, the 16th most hungry country in the world among other countries. Interestingly, Nigeria was ranked below countries like Sudan, Zimbabwe, Democratic Republic of Congo, North Korea, and also Guinea. The Global Hunger Index is a peer-reviewed annual report jointly published by Concerned Worldwide Wealth Hunger Life, one of Germany's biggest private organizations for development and humanitarian aid. The GHI is designed to comprehensively measure and track hunger at the global, regional, and country level. According to the World Food Programme, about 26.5 million Nigerians are projected to face acute hunger in 2024, a staggering increase from the 18.6 million people that suffered hunger at the end of 2023. But apart from hunger, Nigerians are also being faced with a frightening insecurity, with banditry and kidnapping now being the order of the day. From the north to the south, east to the west, the country, as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar said recently, it seems to be on its knees. But the big question or the big story for today is, what will this administration need to do and do differently to bring about the lasting renewed hope that Nigerians are truly looking for? And how can these myriad of issues be truly addressed with a country that is indeed the most populous black nation on the planet? Well, this and more is what this edition of The Big Story is all about. And we're talking about avalanche of problems confronting the nation and approach to handling it. That's what we're having as a major discourse today on The Big Story. We're looking at the different problems that seem to be confronting us as a people, especially the nation, and what approach the federal government should or is taking to addressing it. But to help us address this is no other person but I'll rather call him an elder statesman in all rights. And I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, good morning, viewers and listeners.
Well, anyway, I want us to first start looking at the mirage of issues that seem to be confronting us. But in us doing so, I rather want us to first start with that very report released yesterday from Global Hunger Index, which places us as the 16th most hungry country in the world right now. And even if you look at it, I want us to go to the last 6 years. Let's see how it built up to now that we are now being the 16th most hungry nation in the world. With the statistics I was able to get, in 2017, 10% of Nigerians suffered severe hunger. In 2018, it was 10.40%. In 2019, it rose to about 12%. Now, between 2020 and 2022, we had an average of 21.3% of the country population that were totally in acute hunger. That's what we had. But I'm keen to have your reaction as it concerns that very report that was released yesterday by the Global Hunger Index. And as much as I'm getting that, are we going to get out of the woods anytime soon, looking at the present situation of things? Or are we going to go deep into the woods as it concerns hunger?
Sadly, we are going to get worse
Worst, you say?
Yeah, we are. Everywhere in the world, advanced countries, agriculture is subsidized.
Subsidized?
Yes. Even in America, agriculture is subsidized. Farming is subsidized. And there is the politics of food supply. America was burnt wheat rather than offload it into the world market.
And bring down the price.
Bring down the price.
Okay.
They burnt it. So, agric is a mainstay of diplomacy. Look at Ukraine.
Okay.
In the middle of the war with Russia, where Russia blocked them, they negotiated with Russia to provide a source for their wheat to be offloaded into the world, to the Black Sea. Are you getting it? So food supply is a major source of concern all over the world to the government, except Nigeria. I don't think you've ever farmed. I have.
No, I know you're a farmer.
I was.
Was?
Yes.
Oh.
Economic realities.
But as of last year, you were a farmer.
Yes. Economic realities forced me out. Let me tell you this. There is no farmer that I know of in Delta State that is making money. He is just managing to eat. You need to see the typical Nigerian farmer. Come with me to a town called Oburi, or come with me to a town called Ekwere in Agbaro. And I take you to their cassava farm. Cassava is our main staple food.
Of course it is.
They plant cassava if a pest did not destroy a quarter of it. Flood would destroy half of it. So they are just cassava farmers because it's the easiest crop to plant. At the end of the year, what they make is to buy 1 or 2 wrapper. That is it. They can't build houses with the process of the farm. They can't even treat themselves with the process of the farm. Because government has not come in to add value.
So you're talking about government at all levels?
At all levels.
Okay.
Government at all levels. There is no extension worker assistance to farmers at all levels. When I was producing pepper, not one agric officer visited. Not one to assist, to help. So that is a major issue when you come to define a food security. Government is doing nothing. Either in form of improved crop yield,
seedlings,
okay, improved weeding chemicals, improved irrigation system, improved advice. 0. Let me take you to the piggery farm.
Okay.
Animal husbandry.
Yeah.
If you know what these guys are losing every day, every year, and that's a whole farm of animals, of pigs, will die from swine flu.
Swine flu?
Yes. And they say there's no cure for swine flu. But China, the largest pork producer in the world, I have found a solution. Why is it that it's not working in Nigeria? Bird flu. At times, the whole poultry will just go off, will die. So when we are now talking of food security, are we providing the kind of assistance, scientific assistance to our farmers, so that even the little they planted, they can get a better yield from it? We're not. That's number one problem. The farmers are dying off and there's no replacement. The farmers are aging. You can hardly find young men farming anymore. So the age of the farmers
are going down.
The number is going down. The number of farmers is going down. Just as they are dying off. Average farmers, they come around, people die, they say this age is 105. How can? How can? Because of hard life, because of the difficulties they face in life, illnesses that they can't cure, arising from the strenuous work they do, they die young. But when you look at them, you think they age. They are young men who have aged. So they are not serving as a good mentor to the next generation. So nobody is working on the farm. On my farm, for instance, I have to bring people from Benue State. All the way from Benue State to my farm to work in Agbaru. And when they start giving me problems, when stealing became an issue, then pests came in, and nobody to cry to. I had to resort to Google. Google was not helping me with some advice. So we are not yet in El Dorado. Things are going to get worse. Believe me, things are going to get worse, hunger-wise.
Okay, now, just a simple question. Yeah, you've given us a breakdown of why you feel we've gotten here at the moment. But I want us to really look at it and look at what this administration is doing with great emphasis. I really want us to go there now. Now, the renewed hope mantra was there to assist us to change the narrative. You agreed. I took the analysis from 2017. I had my reasons for doing so, because we had, in the last administration, we had different policies geared towards improving our food production. One of such policies was the blockage of our borders, ban the import of foreign rice, and honestly, at the initial stage, those policies were working. We're able now, farmers during the last administration smiled home to the bank because they became appreciated by value of their product and how much it is. Food became expensive. But irrespective of that, that's the policies we had in the previous administration. And many will say most of the problems we do have in this administration is more like a carryover of what we had in the previous administration coming into this. But into this administration, if you even look at the budget for 2024, about 102.5 billion was accorded to the National Agricultural Development Fund out of the total agricultural sector budget of almost 362.7 billion naira in total. I could still remember. But my question, not only that, this administration, in the early part of this administration, allocated plenty of hectares for farmland, arable farmland to farmers. And not only that, they also assisted with some funds. But my question is, I went to the market, just pure knowledge of wanting to understand what's going on. I went to the market last week, and I was made to understand that the bag of rice is now 70,000 naira. A basket of garri is 1,700 naira, up from 1,300 naira it was in 2 previous months. So my question now is, why all of this not working? What's happening? The policies that this administration have put in place, the policies of the previous administration, and yet we're going hungry by the day. And the World Food Program is now telling us, guys, we're going to have 26.8 million of you go hungry this year. And I just got reports yesterday that the World Food Program is even thinking of increasing and reviewing that number with the present situation we are.
One, your budget, the entire money in Nigeria into agric. We are not monitoring implementation. The previous administration came forward and said they are going to assist farmers.
Uncle's Borrower Program.
Yes. Come and borrow money. Come and do that. They did not tell you the headache that you go through to borrow the money. They didn't tell you of the kickback
that is expected
from borrowing the money. So you borrow money. In farming, for instance, farming is a seasonal matter. If you need money for dry season farming, the money must be with you during the rainy season.
To prepare.
To prepare. But they bring money for you for dry season farming at the end of dry season. So what use is that money? So there is a disjoint somewhere up there. When the priority of the Minister of Agriculture is to build a mosque in his farm with money that he's supposed to use to improve agriculture nationwide, then there's a problem. Are we putting the right people on the job? Now, you budgeted a huge sum of money. At the end of the day, you are not monitoring how the money is spent. A minister who was meant to alleviate
suffering
went and paid money into private account. Do we need a social to know that money is gone? And the same minister went and provided a list of, in his local government, a list of recipients.
Proposed recipients.
Yes, of the 20,000 naira. And nobody knew one person on the list. If I put in a list of recipients, proposed recipients of Agbaru sons and daughters, and you put it in Agbaru town hall, and we go down there, we don't know one person. The entire list, we don't know any one person. And then you say, what is wrong? Is the money going to the right person? Is it getting to the right hands? That's number one. Number two, is the money sufficient? What is 20,000 naira that you are giving to an individual to alleviate poverty? 20,000 naira. What will that do in the present of Nigeria? What is 20,000 naira? Where there is no longer 200 naira loaf. There is no 300 naira loaf. If you see Mama put those hawking rice, and you say, please give me 100 naira rice, they tell you, are you mad? Is there still 100 naira rice? To eat mamona is luxury. So, the situation is so dire. Just because policy formulation is wrong, policy implementation is wrong. You don't just come and throw money at things. You don't throw money at things. You must thoroughly analyze what you want to do the feasibility study, real feasibility study, before you apply money. And you apply the money at when needed. All these are missing or completely missing. So, we have a long way to go. We must divide Nigeria into farming zones. We must have cassava zones. Which zone? Rice zone. And then we develop active policies towards improving specific zones with what they need. And then we can measure them. If we expect Gari, 300 tons of Gari from a place, from a farm, a year, and we are getting only 200 tons, we ask, why?
Because there's a shortfall.
There's a shortfall. Why? We must get answer. And that answer is applied to the next season.
To address.
These are not there. Go and be a farmer. And you will ask, is there any government in this country? Farmers are not getting any assistance whatsoever. Zero assistance. You mentioned banning, closing our borders to this and to that. This administration came in, the first thing they did is to open the border.
Of course, they did.
And you don't understand the policy behind it. The western region depends on the Dioroko border for their economic survival. So most imports into Nigeria come through the Dioroko border. And you close it, you are killing the economy of Lagos. So when the Lagosian comes into power, the first thing does is to open the border. at the problem strictly from the Lagosian point of view rather than from the national point of view. He forgot that they are backmaking rice. Although far from Lagos, also sustains Lagos. So he is not having a national outlook on issues. So he opened the border. He focused on Lagos Apapa Port. Everything coming into Nigeria must come through Apapa Port. What of Warri Port? What of Cocoa Port? What of Port Harcourt Port? The end result is that because we are focusing everything to Lagos Port, Apapa Port, there is congestion.
Yeah.
There is inefficiency.
Yeah.
There is ineffectiveness.
Yeah.
And there's a problem. Because we are clannish. We are tribalistic. And that's why somebody could think of from Maraba to rail. And not focus on Port Harcourt to Kaduna. He won't. That's my priority to him. Clannishness. We are not patriotic, my brother. Patriotism does not drive our policies. Period.
Well, anyway, I'll plead with you, period, for us to just go on a break, though, during this period. And when we come back, we continue our discussion as we look at various problems that seem to be confronting the country. And we needed to start with the issue of hunger, looking at how Nigerians are now becoming hungry by the day. With that recent release report coming from Global Hunger Index, indicating that we're now the 16th most hungry nation in the world, many are saying, is it going to get better? Or, just like our guest said, well, we might just be tightening our belts because it looks as if more seems to be coming, just as we take more on the big story. Let's go on a break.